Klimpt The Kiss. Good morning. Today is September 25, 2022. Um, it's a bit of a rainy day today, which is affecting my condition, so apologize for that. But I'm going to be having a down day today, staying indoors, um, not recovering, but I have a dentist appointment tomorrow and I want to be in good enough shape. So that means it's best for me to take some downtime today and I'll be able to get through it that much better tomorrow. Although it'll take it out of me. You know me, I'll show you. Uh, Obviously, I've got something for the Art Nouveau movement and, of course, Impressionists. I'll give you my story on that painting some other time. But today we're concentrating on Klimt. So let me get myself set up and I will give you my spiel. One second. Okay, then. So I was my first trip to Europe, and my was in November of '89, and I had my general, which is something I like to do. I had planned a bit of a Napoleon greatest hits. I don't know how else to put it because it wasn't quite the pilgrimage, but close to it. I landed in Amsterdam, nothing to do with Napoleon, but for other reasons. They legalized some stuff that only recently in Canada is done, but that's besides the point. From Amsterdam, I was traveling to Austria. From Austria, I was going to finish it off in France and with Napoleon's tomb. But up until then, I was doing a bit, like I said, okay, we'll call it a pilgrimage in the sense of uh, from Amsterdam, taking the Orient Express from Amsterdam to Vienna, and I passed not through, but close, so through Belgium to Waterloo, close as I could get. I wasn't going to make a day trip. Vienna, of course, is a Congress of Vienna, which ended the Napoleonic Wars and set Europe on a course of where it is kind of today, or laid the groundwork for where it is today, in my opinion. So with the Congress of Vienna, of course, it wasn't held at one spot. My main goal was I wanted to be in the place where they signed the treaty, but apparently that happened in many different locations. So I hit the many different locations, whatnot, palaces and cathedrals. What else to do in Europe, right? So we did the Stefan Dome, we did Schönbrunn, we did the Hofburg, and the last place which I needed to see was the Belvedere. Now, the person I was with, they had had enough of the cathedrals, what they want and palaces. What they wanted was just to mingle. I said, "Look, I've got to see this palace, and then I'll meet you either at the hotel or wherever you will be." Fine. Well, looking for the Belvedere, I kept getting lost. That tends to happen to me whenever I've been to Europe, but it always works out pretty good because the more lost you get, the more interesting locales and places that you've never thought of seeing. All of a sudden, you're seeing them, and to me, it's fun. Anyways, finally find the Belvedere. And it's, if I remember correctly, they were closing it at like 5:30, 6 o'clock-ish, and I had hit it by about quarter to five. They actually encouraged me not to go in, admission and all that, because I was only going to have maybe a half hour, maybe 45 minutes before they kicked me out. But that actually worked out fine with me. What I was really interested in, the Belvedere, it's actually kind of a small palace, and from the ones I'd seen, I guess it was like a cottage for them. Pretty nice cottage, very Baroque, but a very small Baroque palace. Anyways, all I really wanted to see, since I only had like half hour, 45 minutes, was actually to see the main hall. I figure if they're going to sign anything or at least have any communications, they need a big hall. That's where they're going to do it. Okay, so I'm walking through the Belvedere, and I think if I remember correctly, I mean, this was 30, 40 years ago. So I was told you walk straight through, and it's sort of, you go through a couple of rooms, I mean, a hallway. There's a couple of side passages. Miss those. Keep going straight. The main hall is in front of you. Okay, great. So I've got a pretty fast pace. I had a much faster pace back in the day when I could actually maneuver. Anyways, I'm walking, gliding down the hallway, and all of a sudden there's a glimmer of gold catching my right eye to my right, and I turn around and stop, like, like the coyote does when he sees a roadrunner. I absolutely froze in where I was. I was seeing Klimpt the Kiss in all its glory. They had a wall, nothing on the wall, white wall, more or less. And in the middle, I don't know if you've ever seen the Kiss, but it's actually a very large painting. And it is just a shimmer of gold leaf and color, and it's so beautiful. And I've known of Klimt and I've seen pictures of the Kiss, but I've never seen it in real life. And all of a sudden, the Great Hall, forget it. The Baroque Palace, forget it. I was transfixed by this painting, slowly walking up to it, taking it in, getting the emotional attachment to this painting. Just, oh my God. If you've ever seen it, and especially if you ever can see it in real life, live, wow, it is something that you can hear it now. I cannot forget the exhilaration. And there's very few paintings that exhilarate me. This one did. I was transfixed, just absorbing it. And it's either the hugeness of it, the shimmer of it, the sort of bizarre, bizarre might not be the correct word, but it has the figures aren't realistic, not in my opinion. They're definitely passionately in love. That comes through loud and clear, but she's got a really weird contortion to her body, I think, and he's hovering over her. It was an amazing moment. They literally, I mean, I spent probably, I don't know how, because time just went like this, but they actually had to tap me on the shoulder. Okay, guy, you've had enough time with your seance here. Get going. So I did get going, but man, it was being dragged away from it. It was one of those moments. It turns out, what was it, 5 years ago or so? It is now, I think, at least 5 years ago, it was the most expensive painting sold on auction, as far as I know. Yeah, obviously. So, the next time I was in Vienna, I was with a friend, and we were walking by a art gallery that was selling reproductions like you saw in my room. And what's really cool about that painting in particular is, of course, it's a reprint. And as you can tell, you saw my Monet. I don't really have a... I was going to say I don't really have a problem with the reprints, but actually I have to have no problem with the reprints because I can't afford them regardless. But what was really cool about that painting in particular, which I hopefully came through in the video, is that an artist did the border, the frame of the painting is actually hand done. That is at least an artist's unique vision. Bought it like that. Put me a little bit in debt, but you know what? It gave me, it was sort of cool, it tied in that second trip I had in Vienna with my first. So anyways, I just thought on a day like today, when it's a little bit downcast, I will give you guys, well, because I mentioned it in my second last video, I thought, okay, I really can't do much today, so I'll give you a spiel on me, Klimpt, and the Kiss. Anyways, that's it for me for today. I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you have a good day.